Today it's the 5th of May 2019. What I'm doing in this video is the last review of my wrist fusion revision surgery that I had on the 30th of January 2019. I went to see my surgeon on the 30th of April 2019, which was exactly 3 months from surgery date, where you go through your procedure, you go to clinic, get sent down to x-ray, then went back to see the surgeon. We are now showing signs of healing. The bones are starting to heal in the hand, where he cut the radius and replated and put the sandwich plates on. He's put a plate across the top of the ulna and a plate across, not the ulna, the radius. He's put a plate across the top of the radius and one across the bottom of the radius to hold it together whilst it was healing. In the latest x-rays, which were taken on the 30th, you can now see the cut that he put in the bone to re-angle the hand has started to heal. Yes, it's taken 3 months for it to show signs of healing. 6 weeks ago there was no signs of any healing. 6 weeks later, the human body is amazing. It is now beginning to heal. Whilst I was there, we started discussing the next surgery, which will be the last surgery I have on the wrist, hopefully, where he's going to replace the ulnar head and reconstruct the little finger side of my hand. So I'm happy with the way things are going now. The fact that I'm on the road to recovery. He's happy with what he's done. I'm happy with what he's done. And the fact it is showing signs of recovering. He's already put me down for the ulnar head replacement. So I'm on the waiting list for that now. But as we were talking and we've been discussing what's going on, what the future surgery is, he did say to me, there's no way I'll go into that hand yet, it's not ready, it's not finished healing enough. So he says, I'll see you again 6 months, so that'll mean May, June, July, August, September. It'll be October when I see him next time, where we'll take some more x-rays, and hopefully by then everything's fully healed. And then I'm theoretically only 3 months away from having the ulnar head replaced, which is not as big a surgery as I went through to have this revision surgery. The revision was 6 hours. He's telling me the ulnar head tops 2 hours, as long as there's no complications. So as we stand now, I'm on the mend. Everything's healing. Everything's going well, and as the days go by, there's more strength coming into the hand. I'm using the hand more now. I spoke to him about going back to work, and he said, yeah, I'll let you go back to work, but will you give it another 2 weeks before you go back, as of from the 30th of April. So I've spoken to work, explained what's going on with there, and I'm going back to work on the 14th of May, but initially I'm only going back to do light duties, no heavy work, because I need to start using the wrist now to get some strength back into it so I can get back up to full speed. So I'm quite looking forward to going back. I've had 3 months off, and that's a long time for me not to be in work. So I'm looking forward to going back. So I don't know if I'm looking forward to the ulnar head replacement or not, but I suppose I am in one way and not in another, because I know I'm going to be off work again for another 12 weeks after it. But let's get the next 12 months out of the way, get the surgery date, and then, as I have done in the past, I'll bring you along on the entire trip, from seeing the surgeon, seeing the x-rays when I see him, and then obviously follow up from the surgery, updates from the surgery, and we'll go with the flow basically. I'm hoping, and I know people are getting a lot of help from my videos and they're getting a lot of support from them. Having read some of the messages I've had, other people who are going through it, I'm pleased you're all recovering. You've all found some support in my videos, which I'm really pleased about. The only reason why I decided to do the videos was because I couldn't find any information on YouTube from anybody who'd gone through this experience. That was why I decided to put the videos together. From this revision and the surgery prior to it, where I had the original wrist fusion, but that was done by a different surgeon and he had slightly different ideas to the surgeon I'm using now. This surgeon wants to do the ulnar head replacement. The other surgeon couldn't get the funding to do it. I've had no explanation as to why he couldn't get the funding, but the reason why he couldn't get the funding is why he did the fusion and he set the hand at that certain angle that he set it at was to make it easier to use. New surgeon said, no, I'm going to do the head replacement. I need to do a refusion, a revision on it, set the hand at the angle so I can do the ulnar head. He's got the funding, which is great. It's good for me, because I still suffer with the ulnar now being in contact with the radius bone, and it gives me pins and needles and some very weird feelings in the hand, and it's still quite clicky because of that, which is why we're doing the ulnar head replacement. So that should alleviate my pain. It should hopefully eventually alleviate the fact I've got pins and needles that runs all the way down the side of my little finger side of my hand, because it's obviously touching on the nerve somewhere. I don't think it's going to alleviate the fact my hand is very, very temperature sensitive. If it's cold and damp outside, the hand always feels very, very cold and actually feels quite painful to use, and it feels like it's tightening up. But I think that's something that just goes with this surgery, because there's a lot of metalwork in your hand and it's close to the skin, and I think the metalwork gets cold and it just draws the heat out your hand. So it's a weird feeling. It's not an unlivable feeling, it's something you learn to cope with. I'm lucky, I've got a very high pain tolerance, so I can cope with it, I can get on with things. So that's my little update for today. Again, I say I'll see you in 6 months after I've seen the surgeon. In 6 months' time, I'll bring you up to speed on the plans for the ulnar head, and then I'll follow on from the surgery and updates after that. So anybody who's going through this, have a great recovery. Carry on messaging me, carry on responding. I'm here to help. I've been through it twice now, so I know what you're going through. I can help. If you want any more information, like I say, get in touch with me, send me a message. I will always respond. It might be a week or two between responding to you, because like I say, I've got work commitments, can't always get to check my messages, but I always get to check them. I will always check for them. say it might be a week, it might be 2 weeks before you send me a message and I come back to you. But I promise you, I will always respond to your messages. Thank you very much. Have a great recovery, and just generally go and enjoy your life. There is life after a wrist fusion. Don't worry about it. You will always adapt. I have, and I'm still doing silly things with the wrist. Just watch some of the other videos on the channel. You'll see what I'm doing with it. You will carry on enjoying your life. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.